Hey, Freedom Fighter. I am so glad you're here at underscore freedom for life underscore because I got a conversation for you today. It's the number one hack for better communication. I know maybe you're like me where there's not always the best communication that's going on. You're stressed, you're having challenges in your life. Maybe you and your spouse, your woman you're in relationship with aren't getting along, and in that place things are tense. Things are awkward, things are uncomfortable, things are silent, right? You're living two separate lives, you have a wall between you, or whatever the thing is that you're doing to try and cope. A lot of times, the challenging conversations are the ones that get in the way of our relationship and our health and well-being. And so what is that hack? That one thing that you can do to overcome that, to have amazing communication. Here's the thing I would give you. It's going to be two steps. The first step is this: is have the conversation early. A lot of times when we have a disagreement, my wife and I, or we're not getting along, or she says something that kind of, makes me feel a little bit disrespected or uncomfortable, or I'm not happy with what's going on, or her as well. A lot of times you can put some time between you and that struggling conversation, that challenge that you walked through, and you don't resolve it. You don't walk through the challenge of trying to let each other know how you're feeling. You put it off. You wait for a while, and then you convince yourself to wait for a while longer, and all that time the relationship is being severed. It's being held up. It's being roadblocked because of that lack of communication. It may not look like it. It may not look like things are different. It may seem like you can just kind of put it off, or maybe do this one, act like nothing happened. Eventually you just get over it, you move on, and you move on to the next thing. I guarantee if you do that, you'll have this conversation again. You'll have that uncomfortable, that disagreement, that thing where you're not on the same page again. But if you confront it early, you do two things. The first is you allow yourself to not make up a story, to not let it fester, to not let the anger increase and grow, to not, in your own mind and in your own thoughts, come to your own defense and find, ways of making sure it was her fault and her issue and because of what she did, and building yourself up as the person who's done everything right and putting her down as the one who's doing everything wrong. When you have the conversation early, you give yourself no time and no momentum to try and make excuses or do those things that we do to try and justify our part of the conversation and our part of the conflict that we're in. The second is this: what is something positive you want to take from it? So we've had a disagreement. I know we need to have a conversation. I'm going to make sure we have it, sooner rather than later. And what's the outcome going to be with that? Well, that comes down to what the outcome you want it to be. If you're looking for resolution, if you're looking for drawing closer and bringing unity back in your relationship, well, then that would be the goal that you want to come in it with. So then your conversation is leaning towards that, so that your questions, your answer, your whatever, excuses, reasons, the things that you're using to direct the conversation are going to lean towards, well, I'm just looking for us to get better. And maybe that's something you even state when you're doing it. But when you don't go in with an understanding of, okay, I'm trying to build unity and bring us back together, but I'm going to show her that I'm right and I'm the one that was wronged and she's the one that did this or that or what have you, those don't tend to work out very well. They tend to lead to more fights. They tend to lead to a second blow up. They tend to lead to division and dissension within the relationship. And that's obviously not what you want. So two things that are a hack. Both sides of the same coin. The first is this: communicate early. Don't put it off. Don't wait. Don't hold off. Don't let days go by, weeks go by, and don't brush it under the rug, because in that place nothing gets resolved, which means that you're going to go around that mountain again. You're going to have that conversation sometime down the road. And the second is this: what is your intention in the conversation? The one where you're trying to bring resolution and make up and bring unity back. If you walk in with an empowering desire and design for that conversation, you'll have an empowering and positive outcome. If you walk in to prove you're right, to prove it's her fault and not yours, then what you're going to find is division. And even when you win, you lose. And even when you maybe get your point across, you still damage the relationship. At the end of the day, is the disagreement the biggest concern, or walking in unity and in relationship where both of you have the ability to be reconciled to each other and to live a healthy relationship out? If that's the goal you're going to have, then that's the result you're going to find. And then you'll be able to live the life that you're created for, have that relationship, and pass those healthy tools on to your children. And if you don't have children, you can model them for your friends, your family, and those folks around you. But at the end of the day, everybody outside of that relationship doesn't matter as much as the two of you together. Build unity by being able to bring these hacks into the relationship. Have conversations early, even if they're awkward and uncomfortable, and go in with an idea that we're going to work towards unity, not towards proving ourselves right. And in that place, you'll have the relationship you desire. So if you want to know more about that, how you can kind of unpack the insecurities, the issues, the anger, and all the stuff that maybe is boiling up to the surface when things aren't going right, look at the link down below. You can take a look at my Life Mastery course, because in it we talk about identity and unpacking thoughts, words, and actions, and showing up as the man you're created to be, even in those uncomfortable times. And down below as well as a link to my calendar if you want to have a conversation on whether Life Mastery is for you and how do you get started in a way that makes sense for you to actually live it out. Get on my calendar and let's have that conversation. Well, if you do nothing else, though, man of God, dominate your day.